Right, we're going to do the second part of our stack again. This time we're going to make a housing that's 3D printed. This one's laser cut, so we're working with some different constraints. I've got my Fusion open. I've created a housing document here, so I'll just delete it so I'll show you what was done to create that. I've already got all my switches and buttons and different electronic components here. I go right click, create new component, and we're going to call it housing. From that, we're already active. Everything else has gone see-through. We're going to create a new sketch. We're going to sketch this one on the side view. So this one here is our side view, and we'll use the origin, which is this thing here. So it would be better to try and move away all your components from that origin section. So let's decide how big it's going to need to be. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here. I'm going to try 90 high by 90. So 90. Said triangle before. Maybe rectangle might be better. 90 by 90. You can kind of see in comparison to these components that are sitting here, that would be about right for a little housing for this. Being 3D printable, we want to make it as small as we can. Might go up a little bit more, so let's add 10 millimeters by just changing the measurements there. Finish sketch. We're going to extrude, so extrude button. We'll go, let's go 60 wide, and that would be enough to hold that button in place. So I want the main button sitting up here and the screen maybe on an angle. So from that, I'm going to click on this side view, create a sketch. From that, I'm going to go from the center point here down to the center point here, just with a line. So I select the line, click, and we are going to go finish sketch and extrude. We'll click the triangle and cut through. So I'll just drag that arrow through and that cut that surface. Let's think about this. We might put some fillets on this to round it over a little bit. So if I choose both sides here and here, well, let's try 2 millimeters. Maybe not enough. Let's say 5 millimeters. That kind of looks cool. We can also click more surfaces. Should be able to. It does actually make a difference if I add some sides here now. And we also call that 5 millimeters. You can see that it's blended them all together nicely. So I'm happy with that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually shell or hollow this out. So I don't mind having an open back on this design. Open back will make like a lid that fits in it later. So I'm going to use the shell feature and click this back surface. I'm going to write inside thickness here. We'll write, well, let's say 3 millimeters. Click OK. And even though nothing's happened there, I assume that it's nice and hollow inside. So let's have a look, see if it is. We're going to click the back surface and click new sketch. We will use that rectangle, center point rectangle like we did before. Find the center point here and open it up. So this is just a space to get our components in later. It's like a door that will be in the back. It's always good practice to put on your measurements. So let's say 40 millimeters. Looks like we lost our center. Just drag that in the middle there. I am going to, for the sake of the 3D printer, I'm going to put like a curve on here. So this fillet tool will do that for us. And I'll do one up here too, and we'll make that big enough so it kind of curves at the top here. Looks a bit interesting, but that'll do. I'm going to use the extrude feature, so finish sketch, extrude. I'll click on this one and drag it through, and you can see it is hollow. And it's got a door in the back. So the 3D printer, that helps the 3D printer make this kind of not a direct undercut, and it will have more success printing that surface. This one here, we're going to put the square kind of 8x8 matrix in here, so this one. The size of that's 32 by 32, so click the surface and click new sketch, capture position, zoom in on it, and it's always best to start with a construction line tool, and we go to the center of this side. And now when I get my center point rectangle and turn off construction, you can see there's a center point there. We type in 32, tab 32, because that's the size that the little screen needs to fit, and finish sketch, extrude, and we'll cut that one through. As long as you go 3mm, that'll go through the whole way. We need a buttonhole on the top now, so this one's a 28mm hole. Same deal, if we use a kind of line tool to start with and then construction line, we can go corner to corner this time, then the circle tool and turn off construction. And this one is, I'll just set it 28, and finish sketch, extrude, and we're going to extrude this one down. So that's our arcade button will fit in there. What else have we got here? So we've got the arcade button up the top. We've got the Arduino, which will just float inside there. So we need to do this switch. The switch, I'll have to check how big it is. So we need a 12.5mm hole for that one. So let's think where we'll put that one. Let's put it on the side here. Zoom in, not super important, just make sure it's not going to clash with anything else. So maybe we'll put it at the back here. 13, 12.5 or 13 works. Just center it nicely. And finish sketch, extrude. So this is just some basic instructions to make your housing. The sizes that are really critical are for your components, so they actually fit when we print this. We've actually created a lot of undercuts in here. We'll be able to print it with some supports. The tree supports work really well in the Bamboo Lab Studios, so I don't think there'll be much problems printing this design. Hopefully that was helpful. What you can do is just activate all the components, and you can start to assemble some of these together. So this is not really critical, but it's a nice thing to do at the end just to check that all your components fit together. It's a bit of a trick, this assembly, just to make sure you're getting the right components in the right order. Just think about what edges need to match up with what edges. So it looks like all those components fit. You can see how far this switch kind of comes down and interferes with all the other components. So this one here, we kind of do this outside lip to this outside lip come together. And for Arduino, we don't really have a space for that, but we will just check that it sits inside. You see I'm struggling with the view here, so if you look directly at the left, you've got to pull it up to the height you need, and then if you look directly at the right, it's in the box. Obviously you want to constrain it in place eventually, but there's enough space to glue that in or screw it down. So that's our project together. You can always hide the joints here just to make it look a little bit better. We can turn on the camera perspective mode as well to make it look better. We can add some material allocation here, so physical material. Once the materials come up, we just drag and drop it into each component. So let's think about this plastic. Black plastic, do black plastic switch. Might do a red 3D print. Black nylon switch and a blue screen. We haven't modeled the detail there, but that gives you an indication of what you can do with materials. If I wanted to 3D print this part, it's the last part I'll show you. I can right click on the component, which is the housing one, and we can go down to save as mesh. Make sure it's in millimeters, STL binary, and we export that. So click OK and make sure you remember where you're saving the project to. That's the file that you'll send to the 3D printers